So area triangles, this is going to look pretty familiar to what we did, or similar to what we did yesterday. And there's a reason why, which is it's kind of neat, I think, when you look at it this way. But triangles. So I've given you like 3 different pictures here just because I want you to kind of see some different ways it can happen. But the idea is basically the same. You're going to, for your formula, you're going to take the base of the triangle, the bottom part, times the vertical height. Now, that height may be a side. It may not be a side. It just kind of depends. So what I mean by that, here, it's a right triangle. So I've got this vertical piece here that meets the base. Over here, I've got this vertical piece that is not a side of the triangle and where it hits the base. And then this one's kind of the unique one where I've got this vertical piece here and it doesn't even touch the base, but it goes perpendicular to where the base is at. So these are the measurements that we're looking at, height times base. Okay, now that's really similar to what we did yesterday, but with the parallelograms. But the addition of this 1/2, you're going to cut that measurement in half, and here's why. Each of these figures is half of a related parallelogram. That right triangle is half of a rectangle. This triangle here is half of, I'm not perfect with my drawings here, but it's half of this parallelogram. And same thing here. This is half of, oh, that's the worst one yet. But the idea is if you take that figure and kind of flip it over, you get another triangle of the same size. But when you put them together, you get this parallelogram. But I'm only interested in the original half figure. So instead of taking base times height, it's half of base times height. So what you can do with that on your calculators, if you're using one of my calculators that has a fraction in it, great. You can also use 0.5 times base times height. And that might work best for most of you using your phones. Okay, so looking at these, we're just real quick going to set them up and do them. I would like to remind you guys, excuse me, don't forget your units when you're setting these up. When you're typing in your answer in your form, the area in this guy is half of the base times the height. So that is, and this is how I do it. I do them in my head. Half of 14 is 7. 7 times 8 is 56. So this is 56, and here are your units. Square inches, include your units. Probably today's the last day. I'm not going to just kind of let it slide. All right, same thing here. Half of your base times your height. Half of 18 is 9. 9 times 17 is 153 square feet. Okay. Decimals don't change anything. If you've got a decimal, you still work with it the same you do the other ones. Half of the base is 7 times 4.3. 15.1. If you get funky decimals on these, make sure that you are rounding them to the nearest tenth. And then the last one here, half of base times height. So half of 11 times 4.9, 27 square yards. Okay, that's it. It is half of a parallelogram.